going to have some straight talk about the ambiguity of seeking powers. It's sort of natural in this world to want to have them. You know, we go to movies and we read fantasies and we'd like to be able to zap things. You know, and we think that's about powers, but in this section of the internet where you watch these videos, we're not going to shy away from those questions, but at the same time, the goal here in being a wizard is not to become powerful and be able to change your rock into a dog or whatever the heck it is you think you want to be able to do when you manifest magical powers. Okay? Wizardry is about the seeking of wisdom. It may happen incidental to that one has to have some knowledge of aspects of powers, and so these next videos are going to talk about various elements of the problems connected with these. And I'm also going to show you some books, and I think people need to keep in mind, if they want to have a balanced spirit about all this stuff, is to realize that one thing that one can do if one wants to walk in life and try to be a wizard is they can collect books. You have to pay money for them. Over on my Real Anthroposophy section, you'll find a lot of stuff that you don't have to pay money for that's really, really smart too, and I'm going to show the relationship between the seeking of powers and that particular field of interest. But at the same time, you know, let's deal with the thing that's out there in the fantasy, and I'll tell you the best books, and you can go to the bookstores and you can find all kinds of books that'll tell you about how you make this talisman or that and the rest of it, and so on and so forth. But there are best books, and the next books I'm going to show you are the best books. Okay? Why do I know that? What do you think? Okay. This guy, his name's Franz Bardon. You can look him up on Wikipedia, and you'll actually see an entry there signed by me. Here's his book. It's got this kind of cover. It's kind of interesting. It says, Bardon, Initiation into Hermetics. All right? And it's part of a threesome of books. All right? Threesome of books. Okay? And the second book in the series is, got that on the cover, like that, and then it says, The Practice of Magical Evocation. Well, these are thick books, kind of heavy too. And this one's got that on the cover. And these things are not sort of pointless, these cover things, okay? And we got the key to the true Kabbalah. Alright, now inside the front cover of this book, there's a picture of Mr. Bardon. And then there's this thing, which is sort of a very interesting thing. It's called The Picture of the Magician. Alright? And it's a kind of thing that you can actually study. If you read it in the right way, I got some pencil notes over here, you realize it's a pictorial or symbolic representation of the chakras. Okay? Now, in the Magical Evocation text, we got another picture. There's another picture of Bardon. Da, 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 da. And we got, where's the picture of the magician? I know it's in here because it's in here, but maybe he stuck it someplace else. You stick it over here. Hang on. Where did you stick that picture? I know I stuck it in here somewhere. Just hang on. Well, I'll start talking while I'm looking at the picture, okay? Now, you have to place Bardon in a context, okay? His work doesn't exist, shall we say, by itself out there in a nowhere land. It's part of a whole plethora of spiritual and occult knowledge, which a wizard should take an interest in, simply as a matter of scholarship. And, you know, oh, here we go. There's the picture in that. That's that. Okay. Now, what's the context? Well, the context is simple to state, and some of it's going to upset some people, but that's just the reality. Okay. Here's another Bardon picture, and here's another symbolic drawing. Okay. Franz Bardon. Well, I'm going to use some language here, and it's not the language that's ordinarily used, but it's a way of sort of making some distinctions that need to be understood. I'm going to talk about sorcery, then I'm going to talk about magic proper, and then I'm going to talk about holy magic. Okay? And these are three different kinds of relationships that an individual can have to what we tend to think of as powers from our fantasies, but it would be better to sort of understand this from the term of manifestation. Okay? These arts lead to various kinds of manifestations. Sometimes in the physical world, sometimes in the astral or psychic world, and sometimes in the mental or spiritual world. Things can be manifested. And so that's what the distinctions are about, distinctions of between sorcery and magic proper and holy magic. And it's important to have this clearly in mind, because as you go through your life and you think about things and have your experiences, you're going to want to be able to say, well, I'm drawn into this sphere, or I'm drawn into that sphere, or I'm drawn into that sphere of work, and to appreciate what's involved, because there's plus characteristics to sorcery and minus characteristics to sorcery, plus characteristics to magic proper and minus, and also plus and minus characteristics to holy magic. And of course they're not simple. You know, I'm not talking about something that's simple, but you can approach it as fun, something interesting to learn and understand, and help you orient yourself as you decide which spiritual path you want to take, or you want to do more than one, and all the rest of those kinds of interesting questions. And a lot of that's going to be thrown at you through your biography. You know, all of us experience karma, fate, and destiny. Okay, and got to relate to that. Now, I'm going to pause this. I didn't do a very good job on my time, and I don't want to run over, and we'll go on to this stuff in more detail next.